When did exhaustion become a status symbol? We brag about running on fumes. We measure worth in our output. We call it high functioning, but really, it's just high hiding. Because here's a quiet truth: you're not tired because you're weak, you're tired because you've been performing strength for way too long. I used to wear burnout like a badge of honor. 6 years in the Navy, we called it grind culture. In corporate, it was hustle. As a tutor, commitment. Even in coaching, I disguised overwork as service. Every season had a new label for the same addiction: the need to prove my worth through exhaustion. I told myself, I'm driven. But really, I was terrified that if I slowed down, I'd disappear. Welcome to Daily Power Boost. Ignite your potential, the podcast where your transformation begins. I'm Sean Michael, and each day I'll bring you quick, impactful insights and action steps to fuel your personal and professional growth. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a leader, or someone ready to break limits and ignite greatness, this is your daily power boost to crush obstacles, stay focused, and awaken the extraordinary potential within you. Because remember, greatness begins within. Let's go. Welcome back to Daily Power Boost. Today, we're ripping off the burnout badge because high functioning isn't resilience. It's just repression in disguise. I remember staring at my calendar, triple booked, inbox at war with my sanity, every box checked, every call confirmed, and still a voice in my head whispered, if you stop now, everything you built will collapse. That's not leadership. That's captivity. Burnout is what happens when your identity becomes your job description. You don't rest because rest threatens the role that says, I'm dependable, I'm capable, I'm the one who never drops the ball. But that role is a mask, and every mask eventually cracks. You call it focus, but really, it's flight. You've built a rhythm of avoidance so elegant that it looks like excellence. But let's not mistake anxiety for busyness. The nervous system doesn't distinguish between productive motion and frantic escape. It just knows that you're running. And here's what happens when you run too long. You think giving endlessly makes you generous, but when generosity empties you faster than you refill, that's not service. It's self-erasure. You're not pouring from a cup. You're bleeding from a wound and calling it love. The world will take everything you offer and still ask for more. That's not cruelty. It's the deal you made when you decided your worth lives in your usefulness. Which brings us to the hardest truth. In a world that monetizes your exhaustion, rest is rebellion, Sabbath is strategy, and silence, that's a strength that doesn't need applause. The systems profiting from your burnout don't want you to stop. They've convinced you that productivity equals purpose, that motion equals meaning, that if you pause, you're lazy. But the most revolutionary thing you can do in a culture addicted to exhaustion: stop performing. Breathe. Remember who you were before you became what everyone needed. Stop here. Feel the weight of the mask. Inhale permission. Exhale pretense. Let your shoulders drop. Let the performance pause. Let your body remember what rest really feels like. Take the time to sit with these questions this week. What am I trying to prove by staying tired? Who benefits from my exhaustion? And is it me? What would collapse if I finally stopped performing strength? And what if that collapse is the only way something truer can be built? Today's boost is this. Number 1, revoke the badge. Write down the phrase you've been hiding behind. I'm fine. I've got this. I don't need rest. Cross it out. Replace it with, I'm human. 2. Rebuild your rhythm. Block sacred time that isn't productivity related. Rest as intentionally as you work. Treat recovery like a business meeting, non-negotiable. And 3, redefine success. Stop asking, how much can I carry? And start asking, how well can I recover? Because endurance without restoration isn't strength. It's slow motion collapse. For most of my life, I thought burnout meant I was working hard enough to matter. Now I see it for what it was, a nervous system begging me to come home. I used to chase validation in motion. Now I measure mastery in rest. Because when you stop performing strength, you don't lose your edge, you regain your essence. The next level of your leadership isn't another push, it's a pause. This was the Burnout Badge, why high functioning is just high hiding, and the final episode for season 4. We began this arc dismantling busyness, perfectionism, and fear. We're ending it here at the altar of rest, where the real power begins. I'll be taking a short break next week to be with family, refill the tank, and return for season 5, Reinvention Through Rest. We'll explore what it means to rebuild identity, not from hustle, but from harmony. Until then, breathe. Let what's sacred stay simple. And remember, your worth was never in your workload. With strength and heart, I'm Sean Michael. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Power Boost. Ignite your potential. Remember, transformation starts with action. So take today's insight, make it your own, and awaken your inner potential. Because remember, greatness begins within. Catch you tomorrow for your next Power Boost.